Hello?
Hey, when are you meeting us to get the project done?
I don't think I'm gonna come.
What do you mean? Why not?
Because personally, I don't think it's right to go out.
You have to come. We need to get this done before Christmas, and we've barely started.
I don't want to go out. I think I should stay away from everything going on.
You have to come to complete the project. You can't just abandon your group and make us do all
No,
of the
I'm not
work.
gonna go out to complete some stupid class project during a pandemic.
Why don't you just have them meet up and then you can FaceTime?
Can we do that instead?
Yeah, I guess that's a good alternative.
Okay.
My name is Maureen Monty, and I am a leadership and team consultant. And at the end of the day, I help teams reach their full potential.
We sat down with Maureen Monty over Zoom to really understand conflict.
People assume conflict is bad, and that's not true, right? Conflict can be productive or can be unproductive, but it is what it is. It isn't necessarily bad in of itself.
With that in mind, we were able to really take a look at the causes of conflict.
Is it the topic? Is it that relationships aren't very good or they haven't been formed yet? Is it somebody's ego? They want to be the boss, or they think someone else is trying to boss them. Somebody's trying to save face because they made a mistake. That's ego. And then finally process. The how we're making decisions about conflict may annoy somebody.
What conflicts are created or become worse due to the impacts of the coronavirus?
You aren't able to sit down face to face, right? That can be harder. And sometimes there isn't even the ability to have the richness of video. And so you're trying to understand tone, or maybe it's a text message. And, those are all without the cues that give you other information about how that person, what they really mean. Maybe they're in a rush and all they can say is, I don't care, you decide, right? So there are things like that contribute to it.
Now that we understand what causes conflict, we asked how to resolve these conflicts.
One thing I do with all of my teams is we create a common view of success. So if you're in a classroom of your peers, and the teacher says, what does success look like for our class this semester? You are going to have a view, the other person's going to have a view, the next person's going to have a view. So my teams have to come to agreement on what we're trying to achieve. A sports team is an easy one. They'll say they want to win the state championship. I'm like, okay, great, write that on the board. Then I'm like, how do we behave to get there? What do championship behaviors look like? And now we describe how people behave.
We also wanted to consider what other factors are involved in conflict resolution.
Leaders must make decisions. And even if somebody's unhappy with it, oh well. But if you've listened to them, had a good process, if you keep your relationship strong, if your ego doesn't get in the way, then if people feel heard, even if they disagree, they will appreciate the journey. The other thing to remember is that some people take more time. So maybe they're more cautious about making a mistake. And that's actually a strength, right? For restarting a nuclear reactor, I actually would like them to please go slowly, right? If the house is on fire, I want people to get out, right? So, but that's kind of the kind of things you have to look at. But making sure that those people that are more cautious have time to be thoughtful and deliberative, or people that are thinkers, and help the people that are more eager to get things done instantly feel valued for being valuable too. So it's kind of that delicate balance.
While it's a necessary skill to understand conflict resolution, we also need to ask, how can we prevent conflict to begin with?
What I would recommend always is spending some time up front getting to know one another. And that can be a challenge because you're coming together to get something done. Maybe it's a team project at school.
In the end, Maureen Monty left us with a very important message.
All teams struggle, and we should be teaching that at a very young age.
Not all conflict is bad.
All teams struggle. It's how you deal with that conflict that determines the outcome.
Understanding who you are working with, instead of thinking about what you're fighting against, helps turn conflict into progress.
And progress is success.